Hey guys, it's Kai3212 here. Sizzle season is almost over, so Drizzle season 2023 is coming in a few days, and now comes the episode 11 cards of the weapons I'm going to be showcasing today featured in the Sizzle season. I know it was a bit late for me to do this, but I'm sure it was worth it all the way ever since I've done a few tournaments and online Tableturf sessions while I was away, making the meta grow as possible as it should. As a reminder of all my future Tableturf Tierlist videos, the cards that will be discussed are in my opinion, so don't be mean about it. I also want to focus on comparing the cards that are also part of their weapon kits, like comparing Big Swig with this counterpart. Big Swig Express in terms of performance and viability, performance on maps, and how it can be combined with other cards being part of their decks in general. With that said, I hope you enjoy this video and let's duel. Number 199, Anaki Splattershot Nova. Kicking off this expansion is a card most notably underused since its other counterpart being S tier, but now that most tourneys have rarely used them, it seems like a bit of a downgrade to them because of how they act like how Splattershots were used. Other than it being mirror flipped, this can pair well with other cards such as Splat Dualies if the Anaki Nova was connected to a wall. Not much on clashing wise, it's dropped to B tier. Number 200, Rapid Blaster Pro Deco. Seeing this card isn't that used a lot from almost anyone seems to be bad for a newcomer to Tableturf. It's because this Rapid can be on point with a nozzle nose, as unlike the other Rapid Pro, this has more viability than the other since most cards can change special pretty okay. It never gets worse, so I'd give it a B tier. Number 201, S-Blast 92. Finally, a good card to play! The letter of this name actually says it all. Basically combining the end of a Snipe Rider mixed with a Clash Blaster and making it a ranged blaster is by far very amusing. Like the other blasters, it can be farmable to a corner, and not only that, it's a middleweight countering other middleweight cards fairly easy. I would love to see its true potential very much, as this may actually do well in standard tournaments, and maybe even duel. Overall, this gets my best card stamp of approval. In other words, it belongs in S tier. Number 202, H3 Nozzle Nose D. Likewise, a standalone, it seems that this Nozzle Nose is a pretty good long card, which can lead to some counterplays against middleweight cards. Not much good when you're bricked entirely, just let it fit into some small narrow spaces and you'll be fine. A tier for simplicity, but in my opinion, I'd stay with it on C tier. Number 203, Big Swig Roller Express. Very impressive card to use other than its twin in Lakefront. This also can be a very good blockable card and could kinda counter half of the special weapon cards easily. Like other wall cards, it's pretty okay, but don't let charges pierce that card when you need to block your opponent's path to your spawn. Take my word for it if it tries its best against a standard Annie card, for example. Let it pass A tier, possibly B tier if paired with the other Big Swig. Number 204, Paintbrush. This card usually isn't that much of a hassle, but trust me, it is. While you may think it's considered a mini Kraken Royale, you're technically wrong. Paintbrush mixes very well with Squid Force and Auto Bomb when it comes to farming, but if you're looking for a better defensive combo, try pairing it with a Shelly and Donnie card. It's not much viable for defense, but can lead the deck offensively on turn 2 in Double Gemini. B tier. Number 205, Heavy Splatling Deco. This might be a better mirror card to its counterpart, and likely so. Very, very likely than the other cards that goes diagonal. Not too completely though. It is very good to wrap around, and isn't much from getting bricked a lot from them. It isn't much farmable, so take it with a grain of salt. Just like the predecessor, but pretty better. S tier. Number 206, Custom Dually Squelchers. Some say this mid-tier card isn't that great, but yeah, I see it now. It isn't great because even combining it with Dynamo and X-Monix the Garden, it can be the same, but you'll need to experiment on your own in both coverage and special block farming with this entirely, so it's not much worth it entirely. C tier. Number 207, Light Tetra Dualies. Spoilers for Drizzle Season 2023, the Kohozuna card is a way bigger starting card in which I'll talk about it more in depth, and it's very combo-wise to play even for a Double Gemini lover. Although I can't say anything bad about this card, but good luck using that card to match well on almost any card in our starter deck because unlike other wall combo cards, this one seems to not be so aggressive and not stealthy-wise. D tier. Number 208, Tenta Sorella Grella. Unlike its predecessor, Tentarella seems to be a good Wallace combo to Octoling and Cuttlefish, but not so much good at River Drift during mid. Other than that, it seems to be a bit easy for almost any card to play, since some opponents would use top tier cards to even shred that card to bits entirely. Not okay for farming, but at least it defends well with its mirror counterpart. There's always hope for it, but it stays in D tier until there are some good card plays in most maps that this card plays on. Number 209, Splatoon Wiper Deco. While it sounds like a good card to play, think of it as a mix between Vanilla Wiper and Fizzy Bomb, but the edge of it isn't extended. My advice for it is to play it like a normal Splat Charger card since it seems to be more narrow than expected. Although the problem with this is that most of the time, you'll be grinding a bit harder unless there are other fittable spaces for this card. Overall, A tier. And with that, that's the Sizzle Season expansion cards that were added in this season. I was hoping for more, but Nintendo doesn't have anything planned to add yet, even after Drizzle Season. I do love its quality of life changes, but that's it. I want not only more cards and new modes, other than 1v1 Tableturf, but at the end of the day, I may make this into a future video, but meh, maybe. So while making the script for this video, I've seen some competitive Tableturf players slowly growing and rising as I've been seeing in my spare time. Naturally, the community is growing large. In fact, in the Japanese side of Tableturf, their competitive scene is way smaller than the other competitive scenes in both USA and UK, in which it isn't that much popular in Japan, but at least one of them, named Pika Pika, I believe, was one of, if not the best Tableturf players in Japan. And of course, by far, I would love to see this game grow as a whole. And even Pochara said that he may watch some on Duelon. And speaking of which, as you may recall a while back, Duelon was now a part of TBS. And I am so glad to work alongside the competitive scene as a commentator. So I hope that I get to have the chance to know each Tableturf player's techniques and viability. But then again, thank you for watching this video. And if you haven't gotten to join TBS, you're welcome to join where we do bi-weekly tournaments. I also do Tableturf Tussle, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, that's it for now. This is Kai3212, signing off.